Well, we're back right here on Halakuwait, and I hope everyone out there is enjoying their evening. Right now we have with us ENAYATULLAH ABDUL, who is an information security consultant. Good evening. We'd like to welcome you to our program.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much.
Nice to have you with us this evening. And maybe you could start out by telling us about ransomware. What is that? Give us some background about that topic.
Okay. Ransomware is actually it's a program. It's a malicious program actually, built by basically hackers.
Yeah. So malicious. That's a big word.
Yes. So basically, the hackers have built it to basically hijack your data itself. So once ransomware hits your workstations or computers, it basically encrypts your data, and once it encrypts your data, you do not have the means or the key to decrypt it. So basically you're at the mercy of the hackers to give you back your data, which is very crucial. So basically ransomware is that, and it's very alarming actually, because globally a lot of businesses have been affected by
and they hold you up to ransom for this,
and
correct?
basically you have to pay ransom to get your data back. So this is quite alarming, and it's quite dangerous.
As you said, malicious and very difficult. And so tell us a little bit, how do ransom attacks happen? Give us some examples of how this would happen.
So basically the means of how ransomware affects is from phishing emails. If you know about most of the businesses, they run on emails, so that is the fastest way of infecting anybody. So you get a phishing email, and after you get a phishing email, you click on a link, and that's it. You download a specific malware on your computer, which starts encrypting your data. So once the encryption happens, then you get a message that your data is encrypted. So in order to get your data back, the message will be there to you need to pay to get your data back. This is how it affects you. And the other ways is like going to malicious websites. If you go to malicious websites, you don't know the link, and you just click on something, it will be able to download a malware without you knowing also. So that's dangerous actually.
So tell us a little bit now, how does it actually reach your computer? I mean, for those who aren't really that tech savvy, tell us about that.
I'll give you an example. I'm a hacker, and I send you an email, and and you don't know me actually, but then you're very inquisitive enough to click on a link. Once you click on a link, basically it will open your browser, and if your browser has got vulnerabilities, so it will be able to download a malware onto your workstation. So you do not know anything about it, and once it's downloaded, it executes itself and then starts encrypting your data. That's how the infection actually happens.
Basically how that happens.
Yes, that's how it happens. So basically you have to be very careful on what information you try to access, and basically you need a little bit of security awareness sessions from your IT team.
Such as, tell us a little bit for the individual, what should they avoid doing? I mean, this, I know there's a lot to say in this, but some quick tips for the people.
Quick tips is basically stay up to date, or probably just
like avoid, let's say, email accounts that you don't know. Avoid links from people that you may not be aware of.
Exactly. So basically, I will not accept any email, or I will not even open any email from untrusted resources. So if I do not trust anybody, I should not open the email. And nowadays there are systems which actually block such emails, but in case if there's nothing 100% secure.
Yes, these things get through sometimes.
If they get through sometimes, it's just better thing is to inform your IT, or probably just delete it off, because you do not know it.
Yeah, we're talking now not about individuals. Let's say individuals, everyone has a smartphone, and they look at different things. So
a smartphone is also a way you can get infected on your smartphone also.
Right,
so because you're opening links over there, you're trying to browse some websites, you're downloading some applications which are not from trusted resources, then what do? So you just you ensure that you have something secure on your in terms of security. You have
you have like firewalls, things like that?
Something like an endpoint security, or probably mobile security available on your handset devices, so that it will be able to thwart any malware attacks on your phones or on your devices.
So the ransomware damages all your information basically once they get it, huh?
Yeah, so once your information is completely damaged, it's basically useless. You cannot do anything with it until unless you have the key to open it.
Yeah.
So what do? So you will pay the ransom, but my advice is not to pay the ransom, because it will open a lot of other holes inside your system.
Right.
So it's much better to have, the best practice is to have a backup of your data always in multiple locations. So basically you have it on a hard drive, external hard drive, or the cloud is a better option where you can buy storage and keep your data over there. So that's the only way how you can counter these threats.
Can you delete ransomware?
See, it's a difficult question.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so it's easy to delete ransomware, but ransomware getting out of the system is not a problem. The problem is your data is encrypted. How do you get your data back?
Yeah.
That is the question. So in order to get your data back, the last resort which anybody has is to rely on your backups. So if you have a backup, working backup, you could just restore it and you would get your data back. That's how all companies do employ. So the backup policy should be very, very strong, and it should be very solid.
So does Windows 10 have ransomware protection?
Yes, Windows 10 does have ransomware protection, but it's a feature which is actually disabled by default. You need to go and enable it, which will be able to see what ransomware is actually doing, and it will be able to block it.
Is this something that's taking place in Kuwait? There's a lot of this going on?
There's a lot of businesses in Kuwait which have already been affected already. Yes, they're already infected or affected with it, and most of them are relying on backups. They do not pay the ransom. But in some cases in US or in UK,
I've read about that internationally.
Yes, there are organizations or companies which are actually paying to get their data back, and that is actually fueling the hackers to keep going,
get even more creative with this.
Yes, yes. That's why it was usually in 2005 or 2010 it was static. Now it is more dynamic. So basically, this is how it works.
Yeah. So ransomware, again, tell us, how can this be sent in, or what's the way? I mean, what are the sources or ways that this ransomware is sent in?
It's basically 70% of ransomware infections is done through emails. It's emails. You'll get phishing link inside an email when you click on it, and that's
so the best thing is really not to open strange emails.
Yes.
Sometimes hard as a company to avoid that, because you get a lot of random emails.
Yeah, but you get a random emails with people whom you know you're working with, but unknown people. For instance, if I send you a business email through Yahoo, which has got an invoice, so you definitely know that it is something fishy.
A little skeptical with that.
Yeah, because why would somebody send me an email? I have an invoice from Yahoo,
right,
or from Gmail, or from any other account.
Sure.
So that's how it is.
So you got to be aware of these kind of things.
Yeah. So that awareness you get actually in security awareness training, which the IT department has to give you.
So talking now about cybercrime, how can these crimes be controlled? Tell us about that.
So in order to control these crimes which are happening is to make sure that your identity is not exposed. So nowadays everybody's got Instagram and everything. So everybody keeps on posting things, So you should have a low profile on the internet, because like a hacker like me will try to probe what is actually happening with you and what are you trying to post. I can guess something, what's your date of birth and all these things. These information is easily available on the internet. So that is one thing. Do not go to untrusted resources. Keep your system up to date. Have an anti-malware program or antivirus program installed on your workstation so that it keeps you secure.
Tell us more how the audience, give us some advice how they can keep their information safe. Take some time with that answer, please, sir.
So keeping the information safe is ensure that you have your data which is there is encrypted by yourself. Have a backup for it always, in case if usually we do a weekly backup or a daily backup. It depends upon how you use it. Ensure your operating system is up to date, because that is the most critical thing.
Right.
If the operating system has got vulnerabilities, the hackers can exploit these vulnerabilities. And once exploited, then you are actually open. Ensure that you have a proper antivirus and anti-malware program installed and it is working. Install all the hot fixes and updates which you get from the internet. All your applications, whichever are there, they should be updated always. And the last thing is that keep on updating yourself with the security awareness program, whichever it is. You know, they teach you what to do and what not to do on the internet.
Well,
So
it was a pleasure to have you
Thank you.
on our program, and we'd like to thank you for your time with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Pleasure
so
to have
much. Thank you.
Thank
We were speaking to ENAYATULLAH ABDUL HAMEED, Information Security Consultant. We thank him very much for his time with us tonight right here on Halakuwait. Well, with that, we come to the conclusion of tonight's episode of Halakuwait. I hope you enjoyed all that we brought to you on tonight's program. Make sure to enjoy the rest of your viewing this evening and all throughout the week, right here on KTV2, the family channel. Before I leave you, remember to always take care of yourselves and each other, and let's always remember to respect one another. Have a nice evening, and good night for now.